You guys remember this, right? Roll footage.
God, this is so long. I'll go over Lilium in a future video. God, these are so long. The stories never mentioned that the stories were never.
Now, what if I told you we're remastering that? Yes, we're remastering that. So, I'm doing another video, but this time I'm covering everything. I know it's going to be really long, but we're covering everything. Every single creepypasta, every single character. Not every single character, but in the multiversal character thing, but every single creepypasta in the character section. So, and we're back. Oh, sorry. And we're back probably a few weeks or year or months later with updated character files or character multiverse fandom or whatever you want to call it. So basically, we're doing the creepy iceberg first. Well, not the creepy iceberg. Hold on. Give me a second. We're not doing the creepy iceberg. We are doing the creepypasta. Now, we all remember Mr. Creepypasta, right? He is one of the most notable YouTube channels of all time. But did you know, and you're gonna get for this one, he's a creepypasta as well? Dun dun dun! Oh my god! Well, you can see it right here in his character model that he is also a creepypasta. Yeah, he's also a creepypasta. Under that camera light and stuff like that, he's a creepypasta. Yeah. But in the mere spectrum of things, he has 1.7 million subscribers. But in the mere spectrum of things, which is the reality of the story, Mr. Creepypasta isn't who he says he is. Yeah, he's a creepypasta. He made Lost Silver make a choice. You know Lost Silver, right? The creepypasta from Pokemon. He made him make a choice whether to live in a story with his Cyndaquil and happily ever after with no consequences and basically no death at all, or relive the death of his Cyndaquil multiple times over, and then he just chose to betray Mr. Creepypasta and basically, yeah, he just straight up betrayed Mr. Creepypasta, and well, he kind of deserved it, to be honest. He made two choices which were totally unfair, so it was kind of on him. He made Sonic EXE disappear, though. Well, to be honest, Sonic EXE is basically Sonic, but he's possessed by something. I believe Sonic EXE is possessed by EXE, which was a virus made by Zalgo, because he's got those Zalgo eyes. He's got those Algo eyes, basically. Which kind of pissed off Algo. And he wants to spread his influence, Mr. Creepypasta, across the vast multiverse. Oh, sorry, hold on. Now we all know Zalgo, leader of the Creepy Iceberg, king of all. Zalgo is a recurring creepypasta character who alternately interpreted as a deity, an abstract supernatural force, or a secret collective. The concept originated in 2004 on the Something Awful forums, with edited up cartoons to depict characters mutating and bleeding from their eyes. Like I said, Sonic EXE in a nutshell. While praising Zalgo, depiction were coupled with a unique form of distorted text became known as Zalgo text. He is also the king of the Creepy Iceberg and adopted father of Sabrina, the new queen of the Creepy Iceberg, aka Evil Iceberg, and its new leader. This is his god form, and this is his disguise form. Well, this is what it looked like. Well, this is what half of it looks like. You could draw the other half in whatever fandom you want. Like I said, it's fandom. You could do whatever you want. These are the horns, these are the eyes, and the inside of the mouth kind of looks like Red Death. And this is his suit. And his skin is basically a dark shade of black. And his hair is a dark shade of black too. And I describe his human form right here. Lazari Natalie Swan. Zalgo, taking the form of a human named Evan Harrison, tricked a human woman named Loretta Swan, a religious zealot who was part of a cult and did unspeakable things for the graces of God, into thinking he was a divine being who could finally give her the child she always wanted. She was barren. They conceived, but Zalgo abandoning Loretta shortly thereafter, Loretta giving birth to a completely normal baby girl named Lazari. Lazari exhibited no demonic traits at all until she was 4 years old, where she voluntarily went into her demon form and killed a demonically possessed neighbor. This is when she gained red eyes, jagged teeth, and lost the ability to see any other colors besides red. Lazari's mother then chained her up to the basement, while completely isolated her from the outside world, and beat her and tortured her on a constant basis in order to purge the demon. This continued for 4 more years until Loretta finally had enough, took her daughter out into the woods, and hung herself right in front of Lazari. After that, you'll have to read the comic for yourself. And this is Lazari. It's kind of funny. I included Slenderman too from the comic. Oh god. Lazari. Oh god, Lazari, no. Stripes. Eloise Sarah Bellerose, born of a human mother who had an affair with her husband. Eloise grew up mainly indoors. Due to her birth scarring, her father treated her like a princess and always ensured she was the prettiest thing in the world. Her mother was not so kind. Eventually he died, leaving the riches to Eloise. And her mother, ashamed and angered by her ugly daughter, she threw her out into the wintering cold. Zalgo, who was going to check on her, found her out in the cold and took her home. Alongside Zahir, he trained Eloise and taught her about her demon heritage. Eventually, she earned the nickname Stripes from Zahir and kept it as she worked alongside her father. Pretty cool. Look at that, she's speaking in whatever language that is. I don't know if it's Zalgoian or whatever. Sadia has 4 main forms to go off. Her most recognized form would have to be her day skin. Sadia has 2 major skins, day skin and night skin. The day skin is a result of her own exoskeleton, hot pink hair, having grown 2 curly hair tails, black eyes with light blue irises. She wears a gray bow tie, black top, gray shorts, and black boots. Sadia's night skin has white straight hair, had her transparent demon horns, and has vibrant skin like the night sky. Otherwise, her outfit stayed the same. Sadia's mindscape form looks more human than her previous two forms, having black puffy hair, pale brown skin, blue eyes, and a cream tan gown that is attached from the neck to her feet. Her human appearance retained most of her body, rather sassy and no no shit kind of person. She does have serious loyalty as long as you keep her trust. She will put family over strangers, all aside from her father Abaddon. She is smart, reliable, and kind-hearted despite her sassy ways. Null. Null is an entity that resides in Minecraft, and he is one who is responsible for trapping Herobrine inside the game. Null is a pitch black, leaving no visible details on his body. It is unknown whether he uses it for a weapon, but he normally crashes the game if anyone were to approach him. Now, we've all heard the stories of the supposed legend of Herobrine. You know, the one spirit who is said to roam and stalk you in what you thought were safe single-player worlds. Now I know what you're probably thinking to yourself. Hey, Herobrine isn't real. Not said he's fake and always will be. But what if I told you? But what if I were to tell you that Herobrine is real? However, not in the way one may think. Let me explain. About 3 years ago, I was playing an older version, either alpha or beta. Can't really remember. It was a simple time back then. I was at a younger age. I didn't really think about how harmful such an innocent game like Minecraft would be. As far as memories, however, there wasn't much I remember. My first world, my first house, things normal players would remember when they first started the game. Now, I had a friend who told me about this Herobrine rumor going around, and I thought it was kind of funny because I thought he was joking. His name was Phoenix Elrod. He was joking around with me, and as a result, I shrugged it off. I must admit, I was a little intrigued about this silly little ghost. You probably would be too if you thought some evil guy with no eyeballs was going around attacking people in such a colorful game. In those days, I never recalled actually seeing Herobrine. But I saw someone who almost acted like him, but looked way different than. This player was all black. You couldn't see his any detail at all. He was just pitch black. I never thought much of him, but he never directly came up to me, and he never acted hostile in this sense. He was kind of watching, so to speak. Some time passed, and ever since I upgraded to a much bigger step, like the public 1.4, for example, kind of vanished. Gone. I was a little older by then, but still didn't think of him as evil. I remembered how much fun the old times were. Just wanted to try and find a way to play in older versions, but I never could. This was a very weird experience for me, guys. If I was like, this is my whole story in general. I saw this guy and I was like, oh my god, they're playing the one they're playing the old version of Minecraft. It was like seeing this black figure. It's like my whole view in general is like it's scary. And this is what Null looks like. This is what I saw in my old world. If my cousins were in my world, they would have seen this too. They would have seen this too. And I saw this. Should have took a video of it. I would have saved this video for YouTube, but nope. Didn't save it. And I definitely didn't post it on YouTube. It was a shame, really. It was really a shame. Entity 303. Real name John Entity. John was originally a Mojang employee that was a very skilled hacker It is unknown why Notch fired him, but it was probably for hacking. After he was fired, he learned that his brother had been drowned in a swimming competition. As a result, he lost it and started to create his own hacking group, where he planned to destroy Minecraft. By the end of 2015, Entity 303 is a quiet individual. He doesn't speak a lot since he sticks to himself and his group. However, he hates Herobrine, and Herobrine hates him, and intends on replacing him, but he never completed his mission. Entity 303 is an interesting guy. They say he's a myth from the old Minecraft employee thingamajig, but I believe that's like total fake. Hazard. I said I would read all of the characters. Not much is known about Hazard's origins, only that he's the son of a female entity and an unknown father. It is confirmed by the Dark Man that he's related to Salgrim. Though he refused to say how, Hazard cannot remember much of his early life, only when he was human in disguise, wandering the streets of Hungary, disguised as a businessman. He doesn't know how he got to Hungary either. He eventually made a Hungarian woman and instantly fell in love with her after they courted and married. She bore a child, but then name of Pax. However, Hazard, knowing he can't stay in his human disguise forever, abruptly left without explanation, leaving his wife to raise their child, but he still kept watch over them to make sure that they stayed safe. One day, when Pax was a toddler, his demonic traits got too much to handle and he brutally killed his mother, ate some of her remains, and fled to become a feared monster. Hazard came across the remains of his dead wife and Pax is missing, and his despairing grief and rage swore to kill the person who was responsible and avenge her death. Not knowing that it was his own son, the culprit, he buried her in a nearby cemetery, cried one last time, and set out to start a new life. He wandered for many years, and was eventually taken in by the Dark Man, saying that he had big plans to unleash his true power, and trained him how to use his demonic traits to bring hell upon humans. Okay. Hazard was eventually handed over to Jin the Mage to be trained in the art of the sword, and used his anger and hatred towards humanity and sorrow over his wife and child to kill his victims. Jin the Mage ordered Hazard to eliminate targets that she is too distracted to deal with, or just doesn't feel like doing at all, and he does these jobs extremely effectively. She is lenient on him with killing methods that he uses and where he goes in general. However, she is somewhat overcritical of him, which can leave him frustrated. They do not have a stable relationship, seeing each other as equal professional partners. Hazard never encountered Zalgo and has barely even heard of him, despite being a relative, as the Dark Man forbidden Jin from mentioning him to Hazard. Hazard barely encountered any creepypastas during his missions, and usually doesn't see them at all. On those rare occasions, like on with Clockwork, he usually just picks them up and throws them aside, seeing them as mere distractions and doesn't want to get overly violent due to wasting time. Alright then, this is Hazard. This might be Jin the Mage. I think so. Let me know who drew this picture and comment down below if this is Jin the Mage. The Endless Black, aka Mr. Blank, Lord of the Void, Cosmic Horror of the Dark Void of Space, the all-consuming void. Endless Black was once the formless construct of the void itself that was compacted into a single area when the universe was created, and now that he has escaped home, he has taken human form, similar to Enigma. He has jet black hair and crimson undertone and almost pitch white skin, bright purple eyes, black square lines around his eyes like tattoos. He wears a black double-breasted coat and thick knee-high boots with gray jeans and a dark blue scarf. This is his personality, just to let you know, but I'm not going to read it. And this is his human form. I managed to find somewhat anime version of it online. And these are the alternative photos of it. I don't know why they put a question mark here, to be honest. Enigma, aka Joyce Blackwell, goddess of the Void Queen. During the Cold War in 1989, there were secret experiments ran by CAPS to test for the first teleporter on a human. Joyce willingly volunteered and jumped at the opportunity, but the researchers miscalculated the re-entry point, and Joyce was lost between the fabrics of reality, trapped in the void. And it was here she met the Endless Black. For the first 1,000 years, she tries to shut it out and held on to what little scraps of humanity clung to her heart. But soon enough, she let go, and the Endless Black swept through her mind. But she wasn't destroyed. Rather, she was gifted, and was how an extension of the Endless Black, being granted all its power and knowledge. She soon learned the Endless Black was a creature that was born from the collective darkness compressed into the void after the universe was created, and that all it wanted was to be seen and loved. Joyce now brings children who are filled with negative energy into the void to become one with the Endless Black. So that was a good story. Lilium. Lilium is a 5-year-old girl when her father died in a war. Her mother and she are the only ones left. Her mother usually beats her up for little mistakes. One day she has broken a cup. Her mother threw a glass bottle at her face, which made cuts all over her both eyes. Oh, Jesus Christ. She is lonely and alone. All this made her tough and determined. She is growing her hatred for her mother in her heart. One day, when she was sleeping, she hears strange voices coming from her mother's room. She gets up and sees her mother laying on the floor with blood surrounding her. She sees a man who is taking her mother's jewelry. She looking at him quietly. That's when he can't not get to know she was there. She ran away from there. The night was stormy, and because her mother had beaten her, she could not run longer. The view of her started to get blurred, and she fell to the ground. When she opened her eyes, she sees her in a room, and an aged woman came in. All that happened with her scarred her a lot. Woman asked her how she is feeling and give her food. Sometimes later, she gets to know where she had fallen in a place near the orphanage, and she is now the orphanage. She is now in the orphanage. Not she is the orphanage, but she is in the orphanage. The aged woman asks her if she is someone's child, but she didn't want to go again to that house, so she tells her that she doesn't have parents and she lives in the streets. The aged woman is feeling so bad, she takes her into the orphanage. She also becomes one of the children of the orphanage. When her 13th birthday came, she was finally adopted by a woman. She is a young woman who doesn't even marry. She always visited William since her childhood. She also likes that woman. She is so surprised by seeing her house. It was so huge. She is happy her life is getting so nice. But one thing is made her so confused when she walks around her room. She always says to stay away from her room. And one thing that always also bothered her is that there is a scene of big dark forest through her window. One night when she woke up, she sees a tall man in a black coat looking at her window. She thought it was her dream, so she ignores that. But then it began to happen every day. But soon she got addicted to all of this, so she doesn't get scared anymore. One day when she was walking her mother's room, her ring fell on the ground and rolled into her mother's room. She looks around and sees her mother is not around. She opens the door, and when she sees is terrifying by seeing the things in that room. There are eyes and skin preserved in glass boxes. She got her being, and she touches one of the boxes, the skin started to move and she got scared and ran out of the room. But her mother gets her. She's unconscious because of all of this. When when she opens her eyes, she sees her in a capsule. Her capsule is full of water. She looks around, seeing the woman. She gets so furious. The machine, which also are surrounding her, started to break and fuse as the capsule started to break. The capsule breaks. The capsule break, which make everyone scarred. She looked at them. Using her telekinesis, she burned down the whole place. The last thing she remembers is seeing the whole place burn down and walking in the forest. Okay then. This is William. Wow, oh my gosh, he's got tentacles like Slender Man. That's not gonna put any fan fiction. So I'm gonna have to end it here for now because that was a pretty long one. That was a pretty long story. But I'll definitely make a part 2, or a part 3, or a part 4. It's gonna be a 4-parter, I think. I don't know. But I'll probably definitely be a 3-parter. But if you like this video, please like and subscribe and leave a comment down below for more videos like this. And I will see you later. Peace.